Hi, I'm Justin, and this is the Toronto Gamers board game review. Today I'll be reviewing Santorini. Santorini is a new reimagining of a decades-old abstract game by Dr. Gordon Hamilton. Santorini is primarily a two-player game, but can support up to four and is from Canadian board game company Roxley Games, the makers of Steampunk Rally, which we have previously reviewed here on the Toronto Gamers board game review. You can click the box to see that review. I don't know where they're going to put the box. It'll be somewhere, but click the box. You'll see our review of Steampunk Rally. In Santorini, you play the role of a god or hero who controls two builders on the island of Santorini. The first player to get their builder to the top of a three-level building wins, though each player will have some sort of special power that can make gameplay all the more interesting. While there is a Golden Fleece expansion, and I do have it, for this review I'll be sticking to reviewing the base game. As always, rules are linked below. So let's get this out of the way. Santorini's components are gorgeous. From the custom builder minis, to the beautiful and charming artwork, to the molded plastic building components, to the elevated playing space that feels like you're really building on an island from a god's eye view, everything in Santorini is stunning and high quality. The cards are nice and thick, and every single plastic building piece I have slots perfectly into every other place it should. I mean, Roxley has done an incredible job. Is it technically overproduced for an abstract game? Sure, but every component works so well with gameplay and ties so strongly into the theme that while Santorini may look nicer than it technically needs to, it's not overproduced in a way that detracts from the game at all, only enhancing how involved and connected you feel to it. Roxley have succeeded immensely in marrying theme to an abstract game. The combination of the incredible components and the story of being a god controlling builders works so well with the gameplay. And when you add in special abilities that are tied in and themed with individual gods and their mythological origins or abilities, all with their own beautiful artwork, it's a win on all levels. Now, at its base, Santorini is an abstract game. Now, I know I've thrown that term around a few times in this review, and for those of you who aren't aware of it, basically an abstract game is one where there's no hidden information whatsoever, no randomness, alternating turns, and typically two players. Think chess or Go as really good examples of abstract games. All you do in a Santorini turn is move a builder and build a structure. It's super simple and super straightforward. Now, that on its own, with these components, is an interesting game that's quick to learn, hard to master, and keeps you coming back to improve your strategy and technique. When you throw in the god powers, it takes things to a whole new level. Every game is vastly different depending on the combination of powers you get, and they're so quick. I've yet to play a game that hasn't immediately been followed with another, and another, and another. Roxley has done a great job playtesting all of these powers too, taking care to note which gods' abilities shouldn't be played against each other, or which abilities shouldn't be played with 3 or 4 players. They actually maintain a living rulebook on their website, the same rules that we've linked below. And they update it in case there's anything that their playtesting missed, given the hundreds of power combinations you can encounter. And with the god powers and the hero powers in the expansion, you can find ways to help balance differences in player abilities. So if you want to play with your child or niece or nephew, you can try giving them a power to use while you go without. Santorini works incredibly well as a two-player game, and that's really how I recommend you play it. That said, I was surprised at how well it played with 3 players. I may prefer a two-player game, but Santorini still holds up well at 3 and gives you a whole other set of builders whose moves you have to watch out for. Now, a 4-player game basically means that each pair of players controls a team of builders together, though each player does have their own god power. So it's sort of like a 2-player game with a little less to do and a few more powers to keep track of. It still works, it's still fun. I find 4 players can be a little overwhelming depending on the combination of powers you have, but again, it's a fun time. I would just recommend 2 players because that's where Santorini really shines. So, what can I say? Santorini is a fantastic game through and through. Roxley and Dr. Hamilton have produced an engaging two-player game with stunning components, solid gameplay, immersive theme, and it makes you want to come back to it again and again. Of all the new games I've received in the past few months, Santorini is the one I've played the most. And it's so easy to get anyone to play, from an established gamer who will appreciate the quality and the strategy, to a casual or even totally new gamer who will be drawn in by the gorgeous artwork, exciting components, and fun theme. It looks fantastic and plays just as well. I have to say that hands down, I would recommend Santorini to any gamer to add to your collection. It's a rare game with incredibly broad appeal, great value, and superb quality.